Good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of The Brighter Side. I'm Marnie McLean. We begin tonight's program with a story we did recently at Fitchburg High School, when we spoke with 3 exceptional students in the graduating class of 1991. So often, the stories we hear about schools focus on negative aspects, dropout rates or drug and violence problems. As a result, those students who are doing exactly what they should be doing, getting a good education, don't get the attention they deserve. But happily, on our program tonight, they do. 3 friends eating lunch in a high school cafeteria, a very common sight anywhere. But what is uncommon is that each of these friends, Megan Normandin, Tara Sweeney, and Renee Robichaud, have proven themselves to be among the most successful students in the Fitchburg High School class of 1991. In both academics and extracurricular activities, these girls have excelled, and as a result, they are now being rewarded with impressive college scholarships. This fall, Renee will be at the University of Hartford in Connecticut, where she will study secondary education and hopefully pursue her interest in art as well. The recipient of a presidential scholarship, Renee will receive $6,500 each year, providing she maintains a grade point average that keeps her on the dean's list, a task she feels she can handle.
I don't think that'll be too difficult to do. I know there, when I talked to some of the girls there before, they said it's like no grade below a C. So even if...
One of the top academic performers in the class, Renee has always looked to challenge herself.
I've never been afraid of hard work, so it's always been a challenge to take those classes. I have always been afraid of failing, and that's hindered me a little bit because I was afraid I'd get into a class and I just couldn't cut it. But I've been able to do successfully, and it's like...
Though recognized mostly as a scholar at school, Renee's talents and interests are quite diverse. She ran cross-country, is president of the National Honor Society, and quite a good artist as well.
It's very personal when I paint, so everything's different all the time. It depends on how I feel that day, because parts of my pictures can look very different from one another. And today I was trying to put in detail work. I was trying to put in the castle that I saw. The fortress, I think it is actually a fortress, but it looks like a castle. And I liked it. And when I looked at the picture the first time I saw it, it was great. The highlights on the building from the spotlights that were shooting up, you know, there were shadows and there were bright white spots, and it glowed, and I really liked that look.
Renee also enjoys giving away her paintings as gifts because she says it is something personal that people can remember her by. Personal friendships are important to Renee, and no matter how hectic her life becomes, she makes it a point to set aside time for family and friends.
I love my friends dearly. We always have a great time when we get together. Because I do have social hours that I set just for my friends and for my boyfriend and my family.
Right now, as prom committee chairman, Renee is busy preparing for one of the big nights of every senior's year.
Yeah. And I'm going to put mine up in like a twist in the back and have it coming down. Yeah. Prepare.
Renee has made the most out of her time at Fitchburg High, and one of her fondest memories is one that gives great insight into the kind of person she is.
Painting the rock, it is so funny, because we all get up there. The first time we did it, there were about 40 people up there, and we're all looking, who's going to paint it? And there were 4 boys and me who painted the rock. It's not that hard to walk on it. Everyone thinks it's like this, cliff or something that you're going to fall off. It's not that bad. But I like the way I showed myself to all the other kids at that one point, that I could have fun, because I know a lot of kids think I don't have fun at all. I can have fun. I like what I do, and I like to push myself and do things that other people don't expect of me.
When Megan Normandin leaves for college this September, she won't have far to travel. Also the recipient of a presidential scholarship, Megan will spend the next 4 years at Fitchburg State College, where she will study to become a math teacher. Although she initially had planned on going away to school, the combination of Fitchburg State's education program and their basketball team made it a clear choice for Megan, who is well recognized here as both a top student and athlete.
Because of their good reputation in education, and I want to be a teacher, it seemed like the best place, and the basketball team looks good. I talked to the coach, and so in the end it seemed like the best place for me to go. As a student, Megan defines the term well-rounded. Ed Gastongay, one of Fitchburg High's guidance counselors, and who has followed this class since they were freshmen, explains.
She's an outstanding athlete. She's a very bright girl, but she seems to have a great sense of balance in that she keeps things in perspective.
Besides being a three-sport athlete, Megan also finds the time to be a class officer, participate in student council, and the Interact Club, which supports community concerns.
Well, the flower boxes on Main Street, we help plant those flowers. Earth Day, we do a cleanup, and Christmas time, we distribute Christmas trees to families that can't afford one, things like that.
Though she's involved in many different things, Megan's first love is basketball. She's excited to play at the college level, and some of her favorite high school memories come from time spent on the court.
Jump shot's good. Megan Normandin got it.
It's probably the best experience that I've had here. I've played for 4 years. Last year was probably the best because we made it to the state finals. We lost, but it was a good experience playing in the Centrum, and most of the friends that I've made here I've made on the basketball team.
Overall, Megan has had enough great experiences here to make her want to stay in the area for college and possibly beyond even that.
I'm majoring in math at Fitchburg State. I'd like to teach math at the high school level, like algebra or geometry maybe. Not calculus or anything like that. I've had enough of that. But I'll probably end up back here at Fitchburg High teaching in the school system because I like the people in it, and, you know, it'd be kind of nice to come back here and teach.
Of the three girls, Tara Sweeney is probably the most outwardly driven. Since 7th grade, she has known what she wanted to be, an astronaut. Soon she will be one step closer to realizing that dream as she begins training at the United States Air Force Academy this summer in Colorado.
I leave for the academy June 26th, and from that I go through what is commonly known as basic training, boot camp. And that will last for about 5 weeks, and we'll go right into classes. Boot camp presses you to your ultimate limit, you know, that you could possibly attain.
Tara received many nominations and recommendations when applying to the academy, including one special one from Senator Edward Kennedy.
And I got the good news that Senator Ted Kennedy was going to nominate me in December. So I was really excited. It was a great Christmas present.
As a student, Tara is both motivated and self-disciplined.
And to the inmates, where most of the inmates, especially to Rose, where she was confined to a locked room, unlocked locked room. It's kind of hard to explain. Explain that. Okay, the unlocked locked room is this.
Tara came to us at the beginning of the sophomore year, and she in many sense, in some sense, is really remarkable in that she's a girl that you may use the term overachiever, and there's probably no such thing as an overachiever, but she's a driven girl. From the very moment she walked in my office, she told me she was going to be an astronaut. She took the very toughest courses we have.
Like Megan, Tara is a talented athlete as well as a strong student. She and Megan played basketball together and share that special memory of playing for the state finals at the Centrum in Worcester.
I will never, ever forget the trip to the Centrum for the state finals. That was excellent. Just everything in general. I mean, my years of high school have been great. I mean, there hasn't really been a day when I've said I didn't want to come. It's been excellent. I've really enjoyed it all.
This kind of attitude is one that benefits not only Tara, but those around her as well.
She's always happy, always happy. You never see her depressed. So it's great because when you're not feeling so great, it's like she's there to laugh with you and, you know, to help you.
It would be misleading to say that Tara's life is perfect. Everyone encounters difficulties, and right now, Tara has had to deal with an ankle injury that keeps her from playing her last season of softball. But instead of letting it get her down, she has simply changed her role from player to first base coach and cheerleader. Though Tara has had a great experience at Fitchburg High, she is very excited about the next phase of her life because it brings her that much closer to her ultimate goal.
Pinnacle success that I'll be riding atop the space shuttle, piloting it towards Mars someday. That would be the best thing that I could ever imagine. That would be great.
Built in 1936, Fitchburg High is a school with a lot of history and tradition. However, when a place has that much history, it also has age. And this school's facilities have been steadily deteriorating as the years have passed. In fact, Fitchburg High is currently facing the possibility of losing its accreditation because of the school's poor facilities. For some, they may see this as an excuse to explain a student's inability to achieve at a higher level. But for the Renee, Megans, and Taras of this world, it is simply another challenge to meet and to conquer.
As a whole, I think the teachers make the school, and we have some excellent teachers here. And yes, you know, the facilities do hinder it sometimes, not being able to perform the right labs and, you know, being able to attain as much information. But otherwise, I haven't found it that difficult. A lot of it has to do with how you react to situations.
Bernard Welch, principal at Fitchburg High, agrees that there is a problem with the facility, but that it doesn't necessarily affect a student's education.
But right now we're at a space problem, or a space limitation problem, where literally there are no more rooms, and we've got some real concerns in terms of some of the programs and curriculum that we're trying to offer. I think that makes the challenge even more so for faculty and staff, and also for students. We're able to meet that challenge. I don't want to give people, again, the wrong impression that because the facility is not what it should be, that we're not making a concerted effort to address those concerns, because we certainly are. And I feel the curriculum, in spite of the facility, does lend itself to the majority of the youngsters who attend Fitchburg High School.
The ability to take advantage of opportunity is one common thread these three girls share. And in talking about their achievements, there are a number of other common factors they discussed as well.
I think I've had a great number of excellent teachers over the years. I've learned a lot from them in a very emotional manner, that like they loved what they did, so I got a lot out of it. Well, my parents, you know, have always, you know, pushed me to, you know, to do as much as I could without burning out, you know.
I've met a lot of friends here that I'm going to miss a lot next year. A lot of them are going away, but they've been a big help too in you know, trying to get through high school.
Family, friends, and teachers, all important centers of support for Megan, Tara, and Renee. So, as much as we recognize them for their considerable accomplishments, we must also recognize those around them who have contributed to making them the outstanding young women that they are. Please come back right after these messages, and we'll be back with more of The Brighter Side.